All right, Cristiano. Sit down, my son. We need to talk. Just you and me. Now, don't be alarmed. I know it's not every day that you hear my voice like this. But I've been watching your games, your celebrations, and, well, some of your moments. We need to have a little heart-to-heart, all right? You and I go way back, you know? Way back. And I've got some advice for you. I mean, I am the Son of God. I know a thing or two about life's big plays. Let's start with something light. Remember that one time you ripped off your shirt after scoring a goal? Yeah, I saw that. Impressive, very impressive. The abs, the muscles. Honestly, I get why you did it. But Cristiano, my child, here's where I've got to drop a little wisdom on you. Humility. There's a verse you might remember from Matthew chapter 23, verse 12. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. I mean, I didn't go around flexing after turning water into wine, did I? Don't get me wrong, you've earned your victories. But let me ask you, what's greater, being worshipped for your trophies or being loved for your kindness? Think about it. Look, I get it. You've got the accolades, your CR7, the man with statues in his honor. But there's more to life than being known for how many goals you've scored, right? Cristiano, fame is a tricky thing. It can lift you up, but it can also weigh you down. You've tasted it, and let me tell you, I've seen it all. Remember King Solomon? Wise guy, wealthy beyond imagination. Yet even he, in all his glory, realized something important. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. Solomon, with all his wisdom, figured out what I'm trying to tell you right now. There's more to life than the applause of men. I get it. You're a legend. People chant your name in stadiums. But what about when the crowds go home? What about when the lights dim? It's not the number of jerseys sold or the number of Instagram likes that will matter in the end. It's the hearts you touch. And trust me, you don't have to do a bicycle kick to win a soul, my friend. Now, speaking of egos, remember that statue of yours in Madeira? Yeah, I saw it. You must have been pretty proud of that one, huh? But Cristiano, a statue is cold bronze. What you should really be shaping is your heart. Look, I'm not saying you have to stop being confident. There's nothing wrong with knowing you're good at something. Just don't let it be the only thing that defines you. Remember, whoever exalts himself will be humbled. So let me ask you, when was the last time you did something humble, purely for someone else, without the cameras? Something that won't make the highlight reel, but will make a real difference in someone's life. There's no golden boot for kindness, but trust me, the rewards are better. And here's a thought, generosity. I've seen you donate to causes, and that's wonderful. But let me push you further. In Matthew 6:3, I said, when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. You see, giving isn't just about writing a check or posing for a photo with a big charity. True generosity is done in secret, in humility. I know you've got a lot, Cristiano. You've been blessed with wealth, fame, and talent. And you know what they say. To whom much is given, much is expected. I'm not just talking about financial generosity either. You can give in so many ways. Time, effort, listening to someone who's struggling. Imagine the impact you could have by just showing up at a children's hospital unannounced. No cameras, no PR team. Just you, giving a bit of joy to someone who really needs it. That's the kind of legacy that lasts longer than a hat trick, my friend. You know, there was this widow in the Bible who gave 2 small coins, practically nothing in the eyes of others. But to me, it was everything. She gave out of her poverty, not her wealth. It's not about the amount you give, Cristiano. It's about the heart behind it. So I challenge you. Be a giver, not because you're expected to, but because it's the right thing to do. And let's talk about pride, Cristiano. You're one of the best to ever play the game, no question. But I've seen pride take down kings and warriors, and trust me, it's a tough opponent. Think about King Nebuchadnezzar. He was on top of the world, literally ruling over nations. But pride got the best of him, and before he knew it, he was out in the field, eating grass like a cow. And no, I'm not saying you'll end up grazing in the pasture if you're too proud. But you get my point. Humility, my son. That's what wins the race in the long run. Sure, people love the flashy goals and the fancy footwork, but what about humility and how you treat others? Your teammates, your opponents, even the referees. Yeah, even the refs. I know sometimes they make decisions that drive you up the wall. But remember, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Be a peacemaker, not just on the field, but off it too. People will remember that more than any last-minute penalty you score. Besides, humility doesn't mean thinking less of yourself. It means thinking of yourself less. It's okay to celebrate your success. Just don't let it go to your head. The real strength is in lifting others up, even when you're on top. Oh, and let's not forget about criticism. I know you've had your share of it. I mean, when you're as big as you are, people are going to talk, right? But here's the thing. Criticism isn't your enemy. In fact, it can be your best teacher if you let it. Think about all those times people doubted you. Didn't that just fuel your fire? But sometimes, instead of just brushing off the critics, it's worth listening to them. Proverbs 12:1 says, "Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid." Now, I'm not calling anyone stupid. That's straight from the Bible. But the point is, growth comes from feedback, even the harsh kind. Here's the thing, Cristiano. Nobody's perfect. Not even you, my son. And I know that's hard to hear, especially when you've worked so hard to be the best. But even the best make mistakes. What matters is how you handle them. Don't be afraid to own up when you slip. It's what I call a character-building moment. Ever heard of those? They're not fun, but they're necessary. You can't dribble past everything in life. Sometimes you've got to face it head on. Let's touch on something really close to my heart. Forgiveness. I've seen you get angry when things don't go your way on the pitch, and I get it. Sometimes it's frustrating, but holding on to that anger, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness is powerful, Cristiano. It's not just about letting others off the hook. It's about freeing yourself from bitterness. Remember when Peter asked me how many times he should forgive someone? He thought 7 times was enough. But I said 70 times 7. That's 490 times, Cristiano. And no, I don't expect you to keep a tally of wrongs. But the point is, forgiveness is limitless. I've forgiven a lot of people for a lot of things, and I've done it without expecting anything in return. You can, too. Think of all those grudges you've held, all the times you've felt slighted. Now imagine letting that go. Imagine the peace you'd feel. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's strength. It takes more courage to forgive than to hold a grudge. Try it. You might be surprised by how light you feel afterward. Cristiano, I know you've been chasing greatness your whole life, and you've found it. But I'm here to tell you something important. Greatness on the field is one thing, but greatness in life, that's a whole different game. It's easy to think that fame, fortune, and goals are the end game, but those things fade. Trust me, I've seen kingdoms rise and fall, dynasties crumble, and champions be forgotten. What lasts, though, is the impact you make on others. Now let's talk about purpose. You've achieved your dreams. But what's your real purpose, Cristiano? You were given this platform for a reason. And no, it's not just to show the world how to bend a free kick like nobody else can. There's more to your story. You're in a position to inspire others, not just with your footwork, but with your heart work. Remember when I said, the greatest among you will be your servant? It's time to start thinking about how you can serve others. You're a role model to millions, and that's a gift. But it's also a responsibility. What will people remember you for? Sure, they'll talk about your goals and your records. But what if they talked about how you made the world a better place, one small act of kindness at a time? That's real greatness. So use that platform, not just to show how great you are, but to lift others up. Speaking of lifting others up, let's talk about something I've seen a bit of in you. Ambition. Ambition isn't bad. Hey, it got you to where you are now, right? But here's the thing, my son. Ambition without gratitude. That's dangerous territory. It can turn into a never-ending pursuit where nothing is ever enough. You win one trophy and then you're already hungry for the next. You score one goal and you're chasing the next record. Look at your life, your family, your friends, the people who support you. Give thanks for them. Not just when you're holding a trophy, but even on the days when things aren't going your way. Gratitude is the key to contentment, and contentment, my son, is far more valuable than any golden boot. Because when you're content, you're at peace, and there's no greater achievement than that.